Welcome back to Quiet Money Podcast, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. We're coming up next. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Quiet Money Podcast. I'm your host, Dax. Quiet Money Podcast, as you know, it's the number one podcast for going through the ups and downs of life, because you're going to have ups and downs. It's not all good all the time. But before we get into any of that, as always, I got my beautiful co-host. She got her hair rocking natural today. You know what I mean? And we're not outside, so it's sitting where it needs to sit at. You know what I mean? What's up, girl?
Hey, how are you? I'm Randy.
I'm doing good. I need another cup of coffee, but we ain't had no more coffee downstairs.
You should have told me. I would have made some before we came in here.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. How you feeling today?
Pretty good.
What was the hesitation
I had
for?
to think about, because I was up early.
Right,
the baby
right.
was jumping up and down in the crib at 2:00 in the morning. And then he didn't go to bed until 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a early morning workout at 6 a.m.
Early morning workout.
Early morning
On a
workout.
Saturday.
On a
That's
Saturday
a commitment
morning.
for real.
Yeah. That's what I do.
That's what's up.
And I do it well.
Hey, so check this here. Before we really start pouring or whatever, I know everybody's probably had this conversation with a friend, family, girlfriend. At some point, somebody you had the conversation of what it would be like to win the lottery, right?
Oh,
Somebody's
boy.
had that, you know what I mean? Before even getting to anything deep, I'm going to ask you, because right now the Mega Millions was like 940 million last night, all right? Nobody won it, so now it's like over a billion or something estimated, and it had me start thinking again, if I was to win this money, what would I do? So we can open that up real quick. Randy, look, man, we trying to do this podcast. We got our business and everything, but look, I come home or you realize we got the winning ticket and we got $1 billion or whatever it is, taxes out. What you doing? First thing you doing?
Nothing. First thing I'm doing, I'm tithing.
That's the first thing you're doing?
Somebody getting a 10th. Yeah, yep.
One church or
I don't know, but a 10th has got to go.
You don't think instantly you'd be like, yo, that's a lot? No.
I paid $2 for the ticket.
Right. All right. So you tithe instantly.
That's A.
So how you gonna bless somebody with 100 mil?
I don't
or
know.
Whatever it is.
I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
All right. So you tithe. What are you doing now for that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I gotta let it sit, and I gotta let it. I just gotta, I gotta wrap my head around. Oh my goodness.
That's what's up.
I don't have to work ever again. I can do whatever I want to.
That's one thing we had in common. I didn't have the tithe response, but I probably should. So I know about it, but I didn't have that response.
Well, that's why I'm your helper.
I know. Serious. But the first thing I do, which I agree with you, is I would have to not do nothing.
Yeah.
I have to go hop on a plane with the money I already have, right? Lock the ticket, lock it on whatever. Make sure the ticket's secure. And I have to go sit in the palm trees or sit next to the water and just sit until it hits me that I'm super rich and my life is forever changed. And I have to just let it sink in. And I don't know how many waves I gotta hear, or how many birds I gotta be flying, or how many days that I have to sit there with. Because here's the thing. The key part is I will go on my own money. So you and I just got to take our own existing money and take a trip.
Right.
And treat it like exactly how we would treat a regular
just
trip.
Sit there
and just sit there.
Can
and
you
just
believe?
Talk.
Oh my God.
And at some point I have faith that I can't believe will turn into
what's the plan?
What should we do?
Yeah.
But that would be the thing, right? Nah, I bring that up for a reason. Obviously, I hope that we win. You know what I'm saying? We got a ticket. But one thing that, before we even talk about how we're spending money, what we'd actually buy, and financial advisors, we ain't got to get into all that. But one thing we said we probably couldn't do is tell people.
I ain't telling nobody.
Why ain't you telling nobody? Why ain't you telling nobody, man? I want to talk about this. And you know what? This is going to be an interesting one, because if you ever won the lottery, somebody can come back to this
You'll
episode.
never know.
Like, right. Exactly. But why you wouldn't tell, look, family, you know what I mean? Friends, you ain't telling nobody.
Nope. Because I'm not the bank. Like, people be looking at you differently, trying to, telling telling you what you should do with your money and
But
how you should help them and invest in this idea.
You?
Because I see it with the NFL players and athletes and all that stuff. They try to take care of everybody, going broke and
So you think instantly people in your life will look at you differently?
Not the people that's closest to me.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know too many. Well, no, I do have millionaire clients, but you know what I'm saying. In my immediate circle, it could be some millionaires actually.
Right.
But even so, this is on a whole different level. I don't know anyone on this level, and I don't know the people that I know who know anybody on that type of level.
Nobody's on that level, so you can't tell them because they're gonna look at you in a different way, or you don't want to even open that door, right?
I think they'll look at me like, oh, well, we've been cool since this grade, and can you help me out? And I'm not even saying that I wouldn't.
Right.
I just don't want the expectation placed on me that this is what you should be doing because, like, how do you know what I should be doing? You've never had this type of money. Right. I've never even had this type of money.
For
like,
real.
you can't tell me what you think because you never been there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Nah, you don't want to tell nobody.
Nope.
I don't think I want to tell nobody. Would any part of you want to tell somebody?
Of course. And I might tell somebody, but I'm not going to say I won the lottery.
Right.
And this is the ticket. And
well, you're going to say, I got a little money and I want to help you out.
No, I'm going to put it on you. I'm going to put it on you. I'm going to be like, yeah,
right.
Dexter got a nice little inheritance from somebody. And
you just bless them in ways that's not. So if you did it that way.
But see, that's lying though. Is it?
That's a good one. Is it? Is it lying?
Dexter came into some money.
Is it lying, not telling the truth?
No, I don't think so. I think it's protecting the asset. I think if Dexter came into some money and he wants me to, bless some people with it, and I've paid off your mortgage for you. They don't need to know how you, like me and you are one. So you coming into some money is the same as me coming into some money.
All right. So let me ask you this question though. Anytime something happens, we ain't stay on the lottery too long, but anytime something usually happens good in your life, you want to share it with people. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to share this thing with people because of everything you just said, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when if you did share it with somebody and was like, yo, I won the lottery or whatever, would you have people that's actually happy for you?
Yes.
They will be happy for you?
Yes.
Do you think the happiness changes if you don't help them out? Or you think they would genuinely be happy for you no matter what?
Yeah.
They would be happy for you?
I think so.
So why not tell them? Why not tell them?
Because it doesn't necessarily say it's, girl, don't say nothing, but Miranda told me. It's that. It doesn't mean they're not happy for it. They're clearly happy for me.
Right.
But then it would get out.
I think what you're saying is that they will be happy for you. Mm-hmm. But there's natural things that could happen, like any human, where they might say the wrong thing, have a little jealous, envious type thought at some point in time, and it not just stay as I'm so happy for Miranda type of thing. Because why would somebody do anything?
But it's how you got the money.
Okay.
Because you got to think, if somebody looks at us and looks at me and it's like, oh, she's doing well, her business is growing. That's a different type. Oh, yeah, I heard she's a millionaire now. Like, that's a different way to wealth.
Okay.
So the perception is, I think it's completely different.
All right. Tell me how. This about to be interesting. Why is it different?
Because it just
So is. You think that these people, right? Just think about what you're saying. You think that people are going to look at you and see that you have money or know that you have money or success, and they're going to look at it different based on how you got it.
Yes.
Okay. And if you win it through the lottery, they think what, you didn't deserve it.
Exactly. I probably would. Let your stepfather win the lottery.
Right.
I'd be like, Lord, I pray that he will bless us.
All right.
I would be one of those people.
Nah, I'm not saying I disagree with you.
Right.
Nah, if somebody knew that you had won it through the lottery and somebody knew that you have businesses and you've been working hard and you've been following your struggle and your path and your elevation over the years, and they in need now. I'm getting somewhere with this. They in need now. They need money. They need, they know that you have it. They don't. Period. You're on a status that they're not on. They could use some help. Do you really think that they would go about asking help, or would they not ask help from you because the money you got was from your business and all of that? You think they would be different?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So basically people are looking at what you got going on.
Yes.
And thinking that you didn't deserve it.
Maybe.
Or what?
She has it.
She has it.
She got it. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if it's the same thing though, I'm talking about the same thing. People know that you got 100 million because you won the lottery, or they know that you worked hard and elevated over the years, and they've been double tapping your picks and all that, and they know that you're 100 million that way. Do they look at it different?
Yes.
All right. And why is that?
Mm-mm.
But you think that they look at it different?
I know.
Okay.
Because I do.
Why do you look at it? I'm not saying you don't, but why do you look at it different?
Break me off, cuz. Break me. Like, I don't know. I
feel you. But you
because
know.
It's like, okay, this is why I would look at it differently.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't work for it. I mean, it's like, it's not a handout, but like, you won. It's a prize.
Mm-hmm.
You won money. And lots of it.
You didn't deserve it. Listen.
I don't like that. Like, you don't deserve it.
No. But what I'm saying is,
you deserve to win.
But what I'm saying is, you're winning, and somebody's looking at it like, yo, you could break me off because you just got this large excess of money on.
Yeah, you ain't have it last week.
You didn't have it last week, and now you got it.
Right.
So you've significantly changed based on an event in your life. It was luck, and now you don't feel comfortable telling people. I'm going somewhere with this. So an event that's happened in your life that's elevated you so big that you don't feel comfortable telling people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even before you have this type of events, you may never win the lottery, but when you're trying to do different other things, sometimes you don't feel comfortable telling people.
That's true.
But it's not that much money involved.
You're right.
So that's what I want to talk about with you.
Mm.
And what I'm realized, and I agree with the money, and I do think that people will look at it different. Of course they would. They would definitely look at it different, but it's like, it's something about when you're elevating and especially if you got big, like there's a level where you are just not comfortable sharing. The lottery is an example of that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how comfortable are you sharing with people that you know, or people that's always known you, if you wake up tomorrow 10 times wealthier, 20 times more successful, 10 times more known? How comfortable with you are that?
There will be a select few. There will be a select few.
So my point with what I'm pouring about with you today is, like I said on the last episode about, the world wants to tell you about how you're supposed to do it on your end, and, you don't need nobody, but a lot of times the path could result in being lonely. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And when you're really trying to do something different, it could be lonely. Yeah. It could be lonely. You know what I'm saying? And you might have to do things differently for it not to be lonely. And what I mean by that is, maybe you now have to be around different people so that you're not lonely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think that being able to help the people, mm-hmm. I know specifically, even if I never disclose the amount, mm-hmm. like that is part of the blessing. Like I actually want to share it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, pay off this person's student loans, or, buy this person a condo, or, like I would love to blow it in all sorts of what's the word? Philanthropy.
Yeah.
All sorts of philanthropy.
But you won't tell nobody about it. You get it? That's my point. You won't tell nobody.
No, the select few. The select few.
Mm-hmm.
My husband has been blessed.
Right. So I can know that you got this money, but everybody else can't. Right? Think about it. Like, you can do so much, and now you've changed in the most miraculous way. Just hear me out. But you're not telling people about it.
I don't need my name attached to it.
But guess what? As soon as you, if you told everybody, let's say you did it a different way, and you told everybody that you now won this money, how do you think things could change if you did tell people?
DMs be blowing up.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got people asking you for this, asking you for that. What else you think?
And I think that like people are really going through difficult times. And the type of person that I am with the empathy, hey, this just happened to me. I lost my home. Whatever it is, like I would want to play upon that. Mm-hmm. Like I would really, really want to help. Like you have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
From yourself.
Protect yourself from yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's not just about what other people are going to do. It's how it will impact you.
Mm-hmm. Boundaries. Like, for example, for me, I can't walk around with cash.
Right.
I'm going to spend it. As good as I am with money, I'm great. I budget. I teach other people how to manage money. But I know if you give me cash, if I have it and I'm out, I'm going to spend it.
I know. That's true.
I'm going to.
That's true. So here it is. You're basically saying that.
I just want to finish. So I don't walk around with cash. It's rare.
I know.
I just telling the listeners.
No, I got you. So you ain't tell nobody you won this money. I wouldn't tell nobody I won this money. Speed it up. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Now, you're basically saying if you did tell people, you're worried about people hitting you up, DMs, trying to get this, trying to get that. And I wonder how that will impact what you're actually able to do and what your experience will be. The fact that you've gotten the best thing in your life, which is all this money that you never had, or the most impactful, let's say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So my point is like that one decision that you're saying you're making to not say would have such a big, drastic impact on everything that maybe happens after that. So you winning the lottery, even if it's $1 billion, is not even enough in itself to make sure that everything is great for you. If you think about it, if me and you win the lottery and we got $1 billion, we are not instantly okay. We got decisions we got to make.
Attorneys, we
think
have
about
to buy.
It. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's everything is about process and thinking through things. But for that to actually be great for us, we have like really big decisions that we would have to make.
Absolutely.
And because of that, not only, would we need help, but we need time right away to go figure out and get our mind right to be able to start making some of these decisions. Yes?
Do you know how long I have wanted a blue Bentley? I'm just saying, like, to get your mind around it and make decisions
you would.
a certain way. Yeah.
But you would have to go off and figure out what am I going to do and how. But my point with this is you got something great that's happened. You can't tell nobody about it. And you got to take the time to figure out how to make it be something great for yourself and other people. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you got it on this end is not in itself gonna just do it.
Right.
It's tough decisions you got to make. And if you make the wrong one, the experience could be way, way different. All right. Now, going back to my point about if people would look at it different and this, and that, I don't know if they would. I don't know if they won't. I know most people have a perception of you anyway. But if they know that you got something easy, of course, they're going to think that, quote unquote, not that you didn't deserve it, but they did. Why not them? And the other way, why not me?
Right.
Why didn't I win it? It ain't nothing she did different than me, but she's getting all this stuff. Why not me? You wouldn't be able to share that with all the why not me people. Because at the end of the day, that's the one thing that we have to recognize. That's the one reason we can't share it. Because what happened to me did not happen to you. Mm-hmm. Period. Can't do it. That's hard though. But as we go through what we're trying to do with our life, the stuff that's happening with us, the stuff that we're trying, it's just you and me here doing it. And I'm starting to realize that it's not making me not want to share, but it's making me realize that sharing it doesn't mean anything to people that are not involved in it and don't support it, and that are not just like you and me sitting on the beach trying to figure out what to do with this money. Mm-hmm. So the reason why we don't need to tell nobody is because they don't need to know. You get it? Like they don't actually need to know.
Right.
Because the truth is, there is absolutely nothing that anybody else could bring positive into that. Nothing. And that's why it would be so hard. And that's why the journey of winning the lottery of $1 billion could be lonely for us if that happened. You see what I'm saying? Because you and I won the $1 billion. And every hurdle that we go through will be as a unity of people that are trying to figure out and manage and do what they need to do with this $1 billion. Now, does that mean if I told a family member they wouldn't really love me and support me? No, that's not the case. But they don't actually need to know. My point is that there's something big that we need to figure out, and we have to take some steps to go do it. Mm-hmm. And we have the opportunity to bless all of these people if we do the right steps and make sure that it doesn't hurt themselves. But there's so much that we have to do, just you and I first, before we could ever involve anybody else. You see what I'm saying? When I'm doing things with you now, I'm realizing that I don't need to get anything else from anybody else because they're not part of building what I'm building with you. They're not part of figuring out, hey, how are we going to go step aside and figure out the next move? They're not there. It's just you. It's just me. And that road of us continue to do what we're doing, I think that sometimes it's going to be lonely. I think it is. I think we got to be okay with that. I think there's bigger things that we're trying. That's why it feels lonely sometimes, because you're the only person that's doing that. Quiet Money is nobody else in this podcast with us. You know what I'm saying? So
it is lonely.
It is lonely. And it doesn't mean they're not doing a show, but what I'm saying is like, whatever this show becomes and what we want it to be, you and I talk about it. You and I figure it out. You and I commit to the journey of what we're doing together. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, it would be wrong to have the expectation from other people that it didn't happen to, that's not involved in it, and needing that to be the thing that drives you. You know what I'm saying? It can't be like that, but it's hard. Just like it would be hard not winning the lottery, because in all honesty, to me, winning the lottery, that would be the hardest part of it. That's like the worst part of it. That every single person I know that I rock with or whatever, I can't not say, oh, I'm rich, but just be embraced the same and be able to share the money free. Because that's like, that would be lovely. Everybody embrace you. Hey, congratulations. You won the lottery. Oh, well, how you want to spend it? Everybody has a drink with you like they used to, right? Everybody goes to the same pizza spot with you like they used to. You know what I mean? Y'all sit in the same little chairs like you used to, but everybody's just high-fiving Baxter. And what's happened to him? The thing that breaks us down is, as soon as these moments happen, you got to look around and realize, like, dang, I can't even go to the pizza spot no more. These guys that want to go to the pizza spot with me, They don't want to go to the pizza spot anymore. They want to go to the steak spot. Or when they go to the pizza spot, the conversation we have is not like it used to be. Mm-hmm. When we go to the spot, all of a sudden people ain't got money now. All of a sudden, more people are sharing out to the pizza night than usually used to come. Things start changing. Mm-hmm. It sucks. You see what I'm saying? How do you prepare for that? I'm starting to prepare myself for it now with you, because that's just what happens. Now, with the lottery, it's a great thing. And this is where I'm going with this. With the lottery, I would always rock with never telling nobody, because I understand that. There's dangers with that. It makes complete sense. But I know that one thing that's tough with trying to make yourself better, and at least for me, is not having nobody that you could really talk to about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the podcast, I'm glad I got to come in here and chop it with you, but like, and the podcasts are good too, but like, you're trying to do your business, you're trying to make money, you're trying to be a better father, you're trying to get in shape, you're trying to do this, you're trying to invest, you're trying to do stocks. Like, you ever notice how much stuff I've been doing on my end? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not even like too many people that you could really just call sometimes and be like, hey, I'm about to try something new. What do you think? And they jump right in with you. It's plenty of people sometimes you could call and talk about what you usually talk about, or do the things that you usually do, or go to the places that you usually go to. But like when you start doing new stuff or trying to do different stuff, it could be lonely. I realize that. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know what you think about not just the lottery, but like with where you're going within your life, you change your business around. The way you did your business is even making you in a more specialized space where you're not probably going to be interacting with as many people. You know what I'm saying? But like, what is your thought of where you are now and the fact that the things you're trying to do and where it's going, where you're tapping into other groups? Do you ever feel lonely? Mm-hmm. Or do you ever worry, like, just like with the lottery, that remember we was talking about how, you know, why not you? Yeah. And you could feel that you're going to do well. Are you afraid that you do well in one way is going to end up you being not doing as well in other spots?
I don't know.
Do you worry about that?
Not even a thought. But I do feel lonely because, dang, man, I just really miss my mom.
I know. It's okay. It's all right.
Because I think that's probably why. Because even if I was in a new space, I could still call her and be like, "Mom, guess what's going on? This is what I learned today." I don't even know if she cared, but she really did act like it. Yeah. So, but then me being a mom, of course she cared. Mm-hmm. You know, when I think about it, but that contributes to it. But outside of that, I do feel lonely sometimes because I probably talk to about business.
Yeah.
3 people. Mm-hmm. Same 3 people. One is not even a business owner, but I love her insight into helping me just process my thoughts and all of that stuff. But yeah, and I don't know anyone who has a podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like, but that's why I'm using the resources. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know anybody, but you wrote a book. Okay, well, I need to buy that book. Oh, this show is about podcasting. You know, let me play. I pray that God will send the right people at the right time. But I recognize loneliness not just related to the podcast, but to the business itself. Like the other business.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
So, I mean, I talk to you, but still, it's a little bit different because you're not full time in the business. So I think our perspectives are a little bit different.
Being lonely, it definitely be lonely sometimes, and your path could be lonely even if you got people that you know that can actually help you out. Sometimes it's not even just as easy to go with somebody else that's doing what you're doing or whatever the case may be, because the thing that I see is like, you learn things on your own through your own path. I have family members that have their own business. They got different business types. You know what I'm saying? They've been engaged in their business longer from an early age. You know what I'm saying? Trade businesses. It's certain things I can learn from that. The type of business we have, I need to learn a whole lot more different things for it to work. You see what I'm saying? So I got a good start. I have a good background, but I still am in the space of like, well, that wasn't anywhere near what I needed to make our business work. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really have anybody to talk to. Everything we learned was just off of experience and going through the bumps or anything like that. And I had seen people in businesses and do really well within my own family. But what I'm doing is different. It's a different type of business. There's learning that I needed to have, and I didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't. And I'm still learning things. And I think we look back and look at mistakes were made, and you know, it is what it is. But
laugh at them now.
We laugh at them now, but we're learning. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good. But I say all that because like being lonely as you try to do different things it is tough, and I think it's just because of most of the things you try to do that's really, really challenging is most people, if they're not trying to do it, they're not going to really even be able to understand why you're trying to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it, but like most people, once they know you and once they've experienced you, that's who you are. You know what I'm saying? And the tough things that we're always changing. Mm-hmm. We're always changing. And hopefully over time it's for the better. But to a lot of people, they're not watching you as you change. There's only a few different people. There's only a few small sets of people that will sit there and watch you change and be like, all right, cool. Let me see what's next. You know, I can't wait to see it. Your mama. That's why you miss your mama, because your mama's your biggest fan. Oh, let me see what she's trying next. Let me see what she's about to do. She's a fan of you. She's a supporter of you. There's not too many people out there that are really true supporters of you as a person. And it's okay. And you go through experiences with people. You know, you be at jobs, you be on teams and stuff. But if you're lucky, you have one person, two people that are fully tapped into the love and experience of you. And they sit there and they root for you from the sideline through everything that you're doing. And I'm sorry that I'm making you say it this morning. But that's why I'm in this podcast studio with you, because I got to keep rooting for you, for your mama, because I know that's what I'm supposed to do. But I think it's okay to realize that some things are so big, guys. And the lottery was just my example. And I hope you guys are rooting for us to get this $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's okay to keep things to yourself, man. It's okay to keep things to yourself sometimes, all right? Don't let nobody make you think that it has to all be like it is on social media. Like, it's okay to keep some things to yourself. And it's not because it's nobody's business per se. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. But it's because that information you have about yourself, it's actually more beneficial to others if you hold it and use it.
Yeah, and we don't we kind of have that rule anyway. We don't discuss our finances with anybody.
No, we don't. We don't. In general.
What's so different?
It ain't. But the thing that's happened to you is so big that you're not getting shared, but you will still bless all these people.
Yeah.
And you will put yourself in the best opportunity to be able to do that and not hurt yourself. But as we go through these other things that we're trying to do, it can be lonely. And it can make you be cautious to share things. You know what I'm saying? I know it makes me cautious to share things, but I'm starting to like realize that that's exactly what I'm supposed to do. If I wasn't worried about sharing it, that means it's because it's what I'm always did, and there's nothing really impactful or different about it.
Did you used to share?
Share what? What do you mean?
Like your salary, all that, like.
Not my number per se, but I've told people money I made or whatever before. Before I met you, I don't tell nobody nothing. But before I met you, yeah, I would. But it's things that's happening that you can't share. Now with this part about being lonely, you're making a decision that you're getting around people so you don't feel so lonely as you learn these things, But it's tough, and I think the toughest part sometimes is the people that are not there that you would expect. And that happens to everybody. But we all, when we interact with people, family or whatever, we have these built-in expectations of them all the time. And I know that, with the lottery, it's easier to see that, hey, if I tell them, this kind of stuff may happen. But smaller stuff, business change, you want to go, move to another place and try to open up something or whatever. Those are things that are a little smaller scale, but you would want, and I know I've wanted to share those type of things with people. You know what I'm saying? I've wanted people to be proud of me. You know what I'm saying? That's been something that's important to me. You know what I mean? And I don't think I'm the only person in the world that still actually cares a little bit what people think. And I want people that I've looked up to and aspired to or whatever to be proud of what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm starting to realize, and this is what I want your thought on, is the only person that really cares about what you're doing is the person that's doing it with you. And that's the lonely part. So it's not just the negative of hey, people's not going to support you. Okay, we know
that's fine. Okay.
All right. But look at it for what it is and be okay and not have such high expectations on people. The only person that's really going to care and be invested in what you're doing is somebody that's doing it with you or somebody that's invested in you. That's it. Because it's not about what you're doing. It's the fact that you're doing it.
Yeah.
That's it. And if they're invested in you, great. They'll be invested in the things that you're actually doing. So I want you guys to think about something as we go through this. You're like, where your boys going with this? How many people you think are really invested in you? Think about that. Wherever you are in your life, you're out, you think everything's well, you're having a good time, you're going out, party, whatever. You know what I mean? Social life, whatever it is, relationship, working, you're making all this money. People look at you, they're saying you're successful, getting you freaking toast at the bar, buying you shots, whatever it is in your life. Just sit there and think yo, how many people are really invested in me, man? Whereas if all of this changes, and this is what we've been report about today for real. If all of this changes, how many people still gonna be there with me? That's the point of our podcast today. Being okay with not telling people certain things and being okay with knowing that they might not always be okay with how you're changing. And it might be lonely as you go through changes in your life. It just might be. And it's okay. It's okay. Recognize that. Most people are not comfortable with changes. Think about how hard you've had to work to try to change yourself. So as you're going through all that tough time to change yourself, and you actually change and you look in the mirror and you're like, whoa, I'm dropped 50 pounds. The person who ain't seen you for 3 years is always going to be way more impactful to them. Damn. Look at you, girl. You're a stick no. Right? You know what I'm saying?
I love when your accent comes out like that.
You're a stick no. Because they ain't seen you for so long. And your change has been so big that they can't help but recognize it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But they might have not give a crap every day when you was out there working out, eating a little less, that's not exciting. They wouldn't have been calling you every day to make sure that you're not eating them fries. They wouldn't be doing that. And as you lose 1 pound here and a pound there, there's nothing really worth celebrating there to the average eye that you want to bring along. It might feel a little lonely on that journey, but you got your mama though. That one person or two that's all about you. So they're going to be there rocking with you the whole time. So by the time you lose the 50 pounds, they've already celebrated you.
They've been celebrating you the whole time.
How many people you got in your life that's celebrating you for you? And that are happy to have you in their life because it's you. And they are there ready to change with you and celebrate with you as you change. How many people you got like that? And you might be sitting there and be like, bro, I don't have a whole lot. Good. Because most of us don't. And that's the ups and downs of life. Real talk. And that's quiet money. And that's why when you win the lottery and when you start a podcast and when you start a new business and when you're getting all this money you never used to get, or you come into some inheritance, that's why you have that apprehension and things. That's why you have to sit there and think about it. That's why you got to sit there and plan. That's why you got to sit there and prepare. That's why you got to sit there and be ready. Embrace things. Be ready for things. That's why. Because that's when it's going to show up. What's really popping in your life is as soon as you try to change something.
And you have to build your character up as well because you have to learn to be okay with it.
Now, how do you do that?
God. Because I'm not. Like, for real, like, I be reading the Bible like, okay, you know. Okay, Jesus, I see they hated you. And you were doing miracles, you know? So I think that's the only way. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe you have a different way, but that's what I tap into.
But here's the thing, though. You say he's doing miracles, you know, and they hated him. So here's somebody that can sit there and do something supernatural and amazing for somebody that's really in need. But there's still something bad being said about him. So he continues to do the same things that people need, no matter what they're saying, right? Mm-hmm. But his God, we not God though.
I know.
So that's hard to do. It's hard to sit there and bless people when they ridiculing you. It's hard to sit there and support people when they're not supporting you, when they're not loving you, when they're not making you feel good, when they're not appreciating you, when they're not clapping for the things that you do. It's hard for you to continue to do those great things for people. It would be hard to do. That's probably another reason why you don't tell them that you won the lottery. Imagine if all those people that you love, that you wanted to buy a house for, and you wanted to change their life for, all of a sudden was calling you to be like, yo, why you ain't sent me no money? Or you sent me 50 grand. Why weren't it 100? All the things I did for you. As far back as we go. Why didn't you do more for me than what you did? You may now be a person that now doesn't necessarily even want to give them what you was going to do, or you feel unappreciated, or you might feel bad. There's all types of negative things now happening because you have not satisfied them. So when you decide not to tell people about the lottery, you know what you're really doing for real? You're keeping the power of satisfaction. You're earning that. So you're making sure that everything that you do from there on out has to be received as a blessing from people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can chop it down based on information they shouldn't know. So now they can receive your blessing the way that you at least will try to do. Now, if you was to let them know, as soon as you let them know, just like somebody on the street, they ask you for $1. If you bring out 100 out your pocket, all of a sudden they want $10. It's a reason for that.
Right.
$1 now is not enough. $10 is enough because I know what you have. But the truth is that's not true. Because before I knew what you had, $1 was enough for me. That's why you can't always expect, and you have to know that it's going to be a lonely life, because as you go through your life and you want people to really receive the value in what you're really trying to do and protect yourself as well, you're going through life with $100, but always picking and choosing how much to pick out your pocket and show people. You want it to always be a blessing, and you don't want it to be the negative things that come to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm realizing that even more, and I'm going to bring this home with this. Why haven't I did certain things with my life? Why haven't I made my potential reached? Well, maybe that's because I didn't realize soon enough that for me to reach my potential, I had to go down a lonely journey. You know what I'm saying? I had to go down one where I have to be okay with what's happening on that journey. Good or bad. It's my journey. I'm not going to have the love and support and maybe exaltation and recognition from all the people that I've usually needed it from, because they haven't seen me do this new journey before. They never did it. I don't even know how to congratulate myself on the new journey. My expectation wouldn't even be realistic.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've gone through my life, those are the things I've needed. But then you get into something where you actually need you to step up. And that's the hard part. And I tell you, I wouldn't be none without you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really realizing that more and more, which is like, yo, it's going to be lonely sometimes. And that's why it really, really doesn't matter. Now, what happens? Let's say if it's not lottery, it's okay to not say certain things, because just like the lottery, we don't want people to come in, call DM, where's the money, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm starting a new business. I'm starting a YouTube channel. I'm starting a new podcast or whatever. I got all these ideas. Why does it bother us when certain people don't support us? Why does it bother you when you feel like, hey, yo, ain't nobody liking my stuff. Ain't nobody reposting my stuff. Nobody's asking me about how my podcast launch is going. Nobody's asking me about how my business is going.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel?
I think that honestly, I'm okay with it now, because I feel like outside of the select few,
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, because I don't think that anybody's going to ever be that much into me as much as my mom was, and she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like accepting that, like, you know what? People don't really care.
They don't. They don't.
And that's okay.
It is.
It really, I don't need you to, like, you saw me though. You saw me. You ain't got
you
to like
gotta,
it. You ain't got to reshare, repost. You saw me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good enough for me, because the people who really rock with us, they gonna rock with us. They gonna subscribe to the Patreon,
mm-hmm.
and they gonna get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with that from just like an earthly perspective. And then I just think about, if this is the purpose that God has put on my heart, none of that stuff matters. It's like an audience of one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Bible study I did a long time ago, but it talked about doing things and just looking at God as the audience, not everybody else who's listening, and none of that stuff matters. So that's kind of how I'm dealing with it. So, and I've told you that.
No,
I think I've told you that,
I love that.
But it's just so strange though, because now that my mom's not here, life is just, it's a completely different perspective on every single thing. And it's impacted me so much, which is why I take my mother role so important, because man, when I'm not here anymore, like I'm going to leave these kids with a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even
talking about. I love that. They're going to be able to listen to all this and everything.
They're going to be able to hear it. But like, even now I can just, I hear my mom's voice. Like when making decisions, when making coffee, like I can hear her just, all the time. So anyway, that's how I deal with it. I accept it. It's okay. And God put a purpose on my heart. The person who supported me the most, I mean, you support me too, but it's, it's different. It's a different type of support, but who supported me, the most.
Yeah.
It's not, she's not here. It's almost like being okay with that chapter being closed. I still have people who support me. Thank you for those who do. Like I really appreciate that, but it's just different. Like nobody can support you like your mom. Man.
Nope.
There's something so special with that.
And I'm telling you, if you have, and a lot of people may have never had one person in their life, but if you've experienced that where the person is really down for you, and I'm telling you guys, I really want you to think about that. Like when you hear this episode, do you have somebody in your life, or even are you this type of person for somebody else where like you just really authentically rocking for them, man? Like not because they doing a certain thing, they are a certain way, they hang around certain people, they have certain activities. You met them on a certain team, at a certain job, at a certain place. You go to certain bars on a certain night. Like none of that. Just that person where they wake up tomorrow and they don't do none of the things that you're used to them doing, and you still rock with them, man. How many people in your life are you confident will be there for you like that? When they wake up tomorrow and they come knock on your door and everything that they see is not what they used to.
And you know what's interesting? You know how sometimes people can support you who you don't even know.
Yes, for sure.
So because I'm just thinking, maybe last year, you've been supporting, I don't want to say any names or anything, but you've been supporting a certain person, certain business.
Right.
And they wanted to do something big. I'll say we.
Yeah.
But through you. But we were the first people to contribute to that.
Right.
And then every time that person has something or selling something, like we just support that person because that person has the vision.
Yeah, we love what they do.
The work ethic. Sure. We only had to care about the content or, or the product. Not saying that we don't. I'm just saying we rock with the person.
Yeah.
And we just met this person. So,
but we rock with them.
We rock with them.
We like what they were doing, but it was primarily because it was them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and what they're doing is definitely different than what had me originally as a fan or a supporter.
Yeah,
but I rock with them, so now it's a good example of that.
You
know what I mean? With all of that said, I want to leave everybody with this. I always like to leave people with something. But as we've been talking about this, the message today is just about being okay with it being lonely sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And recognizing that their moments are going to come. And as you look to do big and grand things in your life, it's okay if you are met with those challenges and surprises when you're there by yourself, or the people that's there with you wasn't there in the beginning, or you never expected them to be there. You don't know what to expect when you go into an environment that you've never been in before. So just always remember that whatever you're doing in your life right now and the people that's involved and what they say and blah, blah, that's based on where you're at right now. And you can take that same expectation into the future if you're trying to go somewhere else. So always keep in your mind, I'm going somewhere new. I'm about to learn some new things. You know what I mean? Now, I was, this morning I had a little coaching session. I'll leave you guys with this. And sometimes, you got to take in advice, right, babe? You know me, you got to take in advice.
What you do?
And I'm going to tell you guys something I told one of my players. And it applies to me. It applies to everybody in life. And I think it ties into why it's got to be okay to be lonely sometimes. Sometimes in those lonely moments where nobody's around and you're not got the support you thought you was going to have or whatever it is, sometimes it is the moments, like Randy said, you could be focused. There's quiet times, being alone allows you to focus sometimes on what's actually important. So what I mean by that, at practice today, we're playing this game. One of my players is getting frustrated because they're making mistakes. They're looking at my face. They're seeing my expressions. They're looking around because they think that they're the only one that's getting called out for making these mistakes. They think that other people are making the mistakes too. They're getting frustrated. They're getting hot. They want to take a break. They want to give up. They're doing a lot of things at this moment when we're sitting here and trying to play this game and get better. All right. So I took them over to the side and I said, I just listened to them because sometimes you got to listen. And they went through the whole emotion. They was like literally about to cry. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, yo, you're always coming down on me. You're picking me. Everybody else is making the mistakes. You're not calling them out on the mistakes. I was trying my best, this, and that. And I really heard them out because I wanted to hear what they had to say. I sat there and I asked them one question. And I said, what did I ask you to do? And they said, I need to talk more. And I said, okay. I said, do you talk? And they said, no. So I sat there and I told them and I said, even though you might be right that I'm not been calling out other people, and you might be right that I've been looking at you a certain type of way, and you might be right with all of these things that you're saying, the truth is you still don't do that thing that's going to make you better.
What did I ask you to do?
What did I actually ask you to do? So I say that, guys, when you're sitting there wondering why certain people's not supporting you, or certain people you thought was going to, celebrate you, and you're wondering why you can't tell certain people about the lottery or whatever, what we've been talking about, it's all good because maybe that's because you're really supposed to be focused on what you need to get better at and what's the next step for you to do. You know what I'm saying? Being alone sometimes and having to be in new environments with new people and not having it the way you always expected it is sometimes the best thing for you. And I will tell you that don't get lost in all of these other things, which is true. Life is hard. All this other stuff happens. It's people's looking, people's judging, people's this and that. You thought they were going to be there. But maybe you just need that time to focus on what it is you're supposed to be doing and get better at it. And sometimes, just like winning the lottery, if you want to be your best at something and help others with it, maybe you don't need to tell everybody and be focused on what everybody else is thinking. Because it's you that's at practice. It's you that needs to learn how to talk more. It's you that's playing soccer. It's you that's having the business, the podcast, or whatever you're doing, or winning the lottery. Back to the same point. It only happened to you. So how much do you need to worry and invest in what's happening with other people when your blessing only happened to you? You know what I'm saying? I want you to really think about that and be okay that sometimes it's going to be lonely, but lonely doesn't necessarily be by yourself. You just got to switch it up and start maybe moving in different circles, hanging with different people. If you're lucky, you have a mother, friend, uncle, somebody that represents what Randy had in her life. So you know what it's like for people to rock with you no matter what you're doing. And if you have that, then you don't need so much.
And you can also be that for somebody else.
And you can be that for somebody else. Anyway, hey, did you have a good day today?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
What are we
though.
doing? I know I can see it in your face. I'm like, something's off. You hungry?
My stomach is growling.
We can
Feed me.
Here. But listen, guys, look, make sure you subscribe to our Patreon, support our podcast, Quiet Money Podcast. Again, this is the #1 show for going through the ups and downs of life because you're going to have both. All right. And if you want to tap in, let us know what you're going through, things you need help with, things that's going well, whatever the case may be. No matter where you are right now, I promise you, something good is happening. And then there's also something that could be a little bit better. And we just keep it real because we talk about both on our show. Right, babe?
Yes, we do.
All right. Next time. Peace. Make sure you follow Quiet Money Podcast on all streaming platforms that have podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. Leave comments on our videos. Let us know what you're going through, ups and downs. We want to hear from you. We engage with you. And we'll see you next time. Peace.